Canada cancels automatic 10-year multiple entry visas, tightens rules. This has nothing to do with the student direct stream, which has also been shut off. It has everything to do with the fact that the US is about to deport 11 million people. And a lot of panicked people are about to show up at the Canadian border. Articles lays it out exactly what the title says. The comments are all speculation. The IRCC posted an update on the federal government's website on November 6, claiming that multiple entry visas issued to maximum validity are no longer considered to be the standard document. Previously, visitors to Canada could be granted multiple entry visas for up to 10 years, which allowed them to enter and exit the country freely during that period. Under the new rules, this will no longer be the default option. Now, visa officers will assess applicants based on an individualized basis to determine whether a single or multiple entry visa will be issued in its validity period. The IRCC said, "These are the visas that the rich Chinese guy has to visit his family who live in BC. Rich Chinese guy pays no taxes as he's not a resident. His family lives in a 5M house in West Vancouver, but has a household economy of $35,000 and qualifies for all kinds of welfare supplements. Good riddance to this bullshit visa. Keep tightening. Man, talk about closing the barn doors after letting all the horses out. Sheesh. This means fuck all for the millions of students and temporary foreign workers. How about actually doing the shit we all need to do to solve the problems? Assholes." Ontario school played Palestinian protest song in Arabic as its Remembrance Day music. Last time I checked, Palestine nor Israel were part of Canada, nor part of the wars we fought to defend our country for. Principal Aaron Hobbs defended the selection during one of those meetings, saying it was chosen to bring diversity and inclusion to Remembrance Day that is usually only about a white guy who has done something related to the military. I don't know how I could respond to that without getting banned. I can't believe those words were actually said. Earlier in the week I thought a new low was a school in Lower Sackville NS asking veterans who would be attending Remembrance Day ceremonies at the school to wear civilian clothing in order to not traumatize certain students. Along comes Principal, "Hold my beer," Hobbs to set a new low. The Lower Sackville school bowed to public pressure and allowed veterans to wear their uniforms. Asshole just used the public education system for political motives. Termination with cause. Aaron Hobbs runs a school where children are educated, apparently according to his values, politics, and perspective. If you think that this is the only such decision he has made to be the most progressive fellow on the block, you're sadly mistaken. When teachers decide they need push any agenda other than education, the nonsense soon follows. Disgraceful. Jesus. 100 meters people lost their lives alone during World War II from all ages and ethnic backgrounds. I'm left-leaning, but holy smokes, doing things just for diversity and inclusion is actually cancerous and some sort of brain rot and needs to stop. Not every event has to be some goof's chance go virtue signal. So tired of real progress being masked by people decorating themselves with their self-righteousness like it's cringe. Immigration minister says, not everyone is welcome to come to Canada as concerns grow about U.S. deportation plans. Since this is paywalled, I want to point out a key piece of information in this article. On Monday, several immigration lawyers urged Ottawa to change a policy that allows migrants fleeing from the U.S. to claim asylum here if they cross the border illegally and evade the authorities for 2 weeks. In 2017, Haitians streamed into Canada from the U.S. after the first Trump administration ended temporary protected status for Haitians who had fled to the U.S. The policy sparked an influx of Haitians claiming asylum at the irregular Roxham Road border crossing into Quebec. After talks with the U.S., the Safe Third Country Agreement was revised and Roxham Road was closed in 2023. The changes tightened the rules, but * allowed someone entering Canada illegally from the U.S. and remaining undiscovered for 14 days to file a refugee claim in Canada. Those arriving from the U.S. at airports and regular border crossings are usually turned back. The lawyers cautioned that unless Ottawa changes the policy quickly, record numbers of people facing deportation by Mr. Trump would try to make it to Canada, where they could qualify for a work permit and healthcare while waiting for their claim to be processed. Edit to say, this is an agreement we have with the U.S. Link. The * Canada United States Safe Third Country Agreement, * /a STCA *, French. Entente sur les tiers pays sur * ETPS, is a treaty entered into force on the 29th of December 2004 between the governments of Canada and the United States to better manage the flow of refugee claimants at the shared land border. And legitimately unreal 180. No paywall. https://archive.ph/2doxel. Spoiler, still gonna allow them all in. Hang on. Just last year you were labeled a white supremacist by the same government if you dared to even question the immigration policies. At least people from Mexico and South America can build things. Seems the counties we accept from at the moment are more interested in working in the fast food industry. Doctors said her gangrenous appendix was just anxiety. She's not alone. This post appears to relate to a province territory of Canada. As a reminder of the rules of this subreddit, we do not permit negative commentary about all residents of any province, city, or other geography. This is an example of prejudice, and prejudice is not permitted here. https://www.reddit.com/r/canada/wiki/rules set soumission semble concerner une province ou un territoire du Canada. Selon les règles de ce sous répertoire. Nous n'autorisons pas les commentaires négatifs sur tous les résidents d'une province, d'une ville ou d'une autre région géographique. Il s'agit d'un exemple de intolérance qui n'est pas autorisé ici. https://www.reddit.com/r/canada/wiki/reglas and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message compose to =r Canada if you have any questions or concerns. I'll never forget the day the hospital doctor said I was just stressed and to take it easy when I went blind in my eye a few years ago, only to later find it was MS and it was still progressing. It took me multiple trips to get someone to believe that my IUD had migrated. I was in so much pain I could barely walk. I got a walk-in doctor to sign off on short-term disability because I could no longer do my job. No referral. Just paid him $50 to fill out some forms so I could keep paying my bills. And they still never investigated the issue. I had one doctor tell me, just act like you're on your period and take a naproxen, and I sobbed in the examination room. I had another tell me that it's normal to have pain with an IUD. Another told me that due to my diagnosed anxiety disorder that maybe I should go on medication. When I finally found a doctor who believed me, I cried my eyes out. Turns out my IUD was embedded in my cervix and the pain was because every time I took a step it would aggravate my cervix. It took me almost a month to find someone to believe that I was actually in pain. It made me lose all trust in our healthcare system. about this. As a doctor, I have seen firsthand that women in particular are diminished or marginalized for pain related chief complaints. I made a vow to take women's issues more seriously and have caught a few things over the years. I just saw it so much as a medical student. Every time I see shit like this, I realize how fortunate I am to have a doctor that is great for both me and my wife. She never fucks around, always listens, gets blood work done, and if you have some kind of internal pain or issue, she either sends for an ultrasound or discusses further tests if current treatment doesn't work. Bowel problem? Okay, let's do blood work. Physical and try this. If that doesn't work, let's do a colonoscopy. Indigestion and reflux? Let's do some prescription medicine for a month and then figure out if an endoscopy is needed too. Check for damage to esophagus, etc., etc. I guess I'm really lucky to have such a good doctor. It's fucked that all Canadians don't have that luxury. It's inconvenient cause she is in a different city an hour away, but she is just too good of a doctor to leave. Lily. In Gaza, Hamas is condemned. In Canada, they are praised. It's beyond time to end the terror supporting hate rallies on Canadian streets. What happened to the Palestinian Authority? It seems like Hamas has emerged as the sole political group representing Palestinians when it hasn't always been the case. Greater than in Gaza, locals are going on TV and denouncing Hamas. And a top Islamic scholar there has issued a fatwa against the terror group. Oh, the hindsight fatwa that essentially says it's bad because of the consequences. Apparently, going on a murder spree at a concert and taking hostages to torture and keep as slaves was totally fine otherwise. What Hamas has done to the Palestinians is abhorrent, and Hamas should be condemned worldwide. Wake up. I don't agree with Lily very often, but here I am agreeing with him. Removed. You want to stop these rallies? You need to attack the massive misinformation efforts going on in the country from foreign groups and nations. But I can't imagine the US-owned Postmedia, who owns Toronto Sun, would suggest that.